Hello, everyone. Welcome to cricketworld.com. We are back again looking at what's happened in the first week of the Indian Premier League. As always, I've got my friend and colleague Nikhil Narayan with me to look back at the first week of the Indian Premier League. Nikhil, it's been an interesting first week. What are some of the big things that caught your attention? What caught my attention was the boy wonder, Vaibhav Suryavanshi. They say he's 15. Boy, can he bat?
Absolutely, Chandesh. Vaibhav Suryavanshi has been in the form of his life, a strike rate of 219 in the last 19 T20 matches, averaging 42, 300s, great form under 19 World Cup, 52 of 17 versus Chennai Super Kings Guwahati. The big question is he ready for the Indian T20I team? I think he is. I think he'll be fast tracked into the Indian team, later this year.
Yeah, with India playing T20 series in Ireland and Zimbabwe, we could see him sooner than expected in the T20 format. Then I was looking at some of the older performers, and Varun Chakravarti has really gone off the boil in this tournament. It's carrying on from what happened in the T20 World Cup.
Absolutely, Chandesh. Varun Chakravarti, it's a big headache for KKR. 0 for 48 in 4 overs in the defeat against Mumbai Indians, and then none for 31 in 2 overs against Sunrisers. Not picking wickets in the middle overs, and also very expensive. Since the Super 8 stage in the T20 World Cup, 5 wickets in 7 matches, averaging 60, economy rate 12 plus. Varun Chakravarti, who was India's trump card, who was Kolkata Knight Riders' trump card, hasn't been in form. It's a big worry for Kolkata Knight Riders and also for India, Chandresh.
But at the other end, you have got Yuzvendra Chahal, who continues to perform in the tournament. Is he India's best T20 bowler who's not playing T20 for India because of his fielding?
Absolutely, Chandresh. Two big wickets of Gill and Butler at critical junctures. Against Gujarat Titans. I think Chahal, could make a comeback in the Indian team if Varun Chakravarti's fortunes continue to dwindle. I think Chahal has a strong case to make, given his experience and given that he's back in form with the ball.
And talking of old performers, one old fox, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, is absent at least for the first 15 days of the tournament. Uh, is it a miss for Chennai? You've got Sanju Samson at the top of the order, the player of the tournament at the recent T20 World Cup.
Dhoni's shadow will always sort of loom large on Chennai Super Kings. I think they need to come out of it. They were poor in the first match. The batting looked out of sorts. I think there's over dependence on Sanju Samson, who I think has been saturated after that once in a lifetime performance in the T20 World Cup. So don't be surprised if Samson does not perform in this IPL. Not that he doesn't want to, but after a performance he gave in the T20 World Cup, it's very difficult to raise your standards and continue in that flow. I think they are heavily dependent on Devil Brevis this time, who didn't play the first match. But I think I see Chennai Super Kings struggle like they did last year. They finished last in the last season. I think they'll struggle this season also.
And talking of wicketkeeper batters, you've got Rishabh Pant, who is in news for all the wrong reasons. The team owner had a problem. Again, we saw the team owner, Lucknow team owner, Sanjeev Goenka, having a heated discussion with him. They're trying to cover it up with another video. His own decision making of coming as an opener. How do you see all that panning out?
I think this team owners thing, with Lucknow Super Giants, I think it's becoming quite apparent. But I think that team owners should be limited to, selecting the best, coaching staff, and then let the coaching staff call the shots. That's what the best team owners do. But at the end of the day, I think the teams which do well, they put in the money. So they want, if you do well, they don't interfere. If you don't do well, they interfere. Anyway, coming back to Rishabh Pant's decision to open, I think it was a terrible one. Numbers 1, 2, and 3 worked brilliantly for LSG last year. Markram, Marsh, and Puran. They were the highlight for LSG last year, scoring 1,600 on the strike rate of 170 almost. So Pant is also not a great T20 batter per se. So I don't think you're tinkered with the order. I think they'll go back to 1, 2, and 3 from the next match onwards, Chandresh.
And also looking at the season so far, too early in the day, some young Indian fast bowlers have really caught everybody's attention. Ashok Sharma for Gujarat with his pace, Prince Yadav with his sharp spell for Lucknow, Kartik Tyagi has done well so far in his comeback season in the IPL. It's looking good so far.
Yes, the wickets have offered a bit of nip, especially in the first thing. It's been interesting. Mohsin Khan, Prince Yadav, Shami for LSG. They reduced Delhi Capitals 26 for 4. Ashok Sharma, the excellent 18th over. Prasidh Krishna, the leading wicket taker from last year, 3 for 29. Mukesh Kumar, T. Natarajan, Shardul Thakur, match winning spell against Kolkata Knight Riders. So, yes, the Indians, seamers, newcomers, and the veterans have done well in the initial part of the tournament. Interesting to see as the summer approaches and takes over the whole of the country, how and the wickets dry up, whether the Pacers continue to do well or not.
And finally, this season has just started. But in the first week, was there a performance that caught your attention?
I think the batting performance of Samir Rizvi of Delhi Capitals at unbeaten under pressure 70 of 47 in the chase of 141 against Lucknow Super Giants. He came out to bat at 21 for 2, I think, and then it became 26 for 4. On a difficult wicket when the LSG quicks were on fire, he weathered the storm and counter-attacked. I think that was the performance which stood out for me. So that was the best performance so far.
And every week, we're planning to come up with one stat that will shock everybody, or one stat that has caught Nikhil's attention. Nikhil, what's that one stat for the previous week, the week that's gone by, that has caught your attention?
Yes, I think Rohit Sharma, we all know, has been a great T20I batter, but in T20 for Mumbai Indians, he hasn't, sort of done that aggressive template at top of the order. But this season, from last season, he started, but his 38 ball 78 versus Kolkata Knight Riders uh, was his highest strike rate 50 plus innings in his long IPL career, strike rate of 205.26 in that instant race. So, that really stood out for me that Rohit Sharma is such an all-time great, but he finally produced his fastest 50 plus score in the IPL in the last encounter against KKR.
Okay, this coming week, one final thing from you. What's the one prediction that you think will come true in this coming week?
I think Chandresh, in this coming week, I think we'll continue to see KKR slide and CSK slide. I think both these heavyweights who won 8 titles between them, I think they'll continue to lose matches. I think that will be the one thing we'll see this time. Also, the run rate in this tournament, I think it has been a slightly slower start than last year. Marginally, I think we're going to see more number of sixes, more 200 plus totals this season as the batting in all teams warms up.
Okay, let's see what happens in the coming week. We'll be back again next week looking at the second week of the tournament. What do you think sitting at home and watching us on cricketworld.com? Remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment on all our videos and be part of the conversation. That's it from Nikhil and myself for now. Take good care of yourselves. It's goodbye and God bless from both Nikhil and myself.